All right. Start the music. Welcome to LOA Today. I'm Walt Thiessen here with Alyx King. Today is Thursday, December the 26th, the day after Christmas 2019. We hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and are planning on a very Happy New Year. And I gotta turn off the music over here, so give me a moment while I do that. I got a new computer over here and I'm trying to learn how the thing works. And I still don't know how it works. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Okay.
Guess we should have tested that out first.
Should have tested that one. I hadn't thought about that one. But that's okay. So anyway, we're hoping that you all had a wonderful Christmas. I had one myself. I actually got myself a new computer for Christmas. Well,
Nice.
not entirely for Christmas, but for my programming work because
Hmm.
these days, if you want to create apps, you have to create them for both Androids and iPhones and PCs and Macs and so forth. And in order to do that, you actually have to have Macs and PCs in order to
Facts.
compile the code. So now I've got a Mac and a PC, so I'm well balanced where computers are
All
concerned.
right.
So that was my little present to myself. But we had a nice visit with family, and we hope you all did too. Alex sent me a terrific little picture by text message. I mean, she was having a great time, I could tell. So
Yes,
yeah,
I was. I had a great Christmas.
it was wonderful. So, and she's got new headphones. She got her unicorn headphones back with a working
Yay.
unicorn horn. I love it. So, well, we're hoping you all had a great holiday as well. I think this is going to be kind of a holiday show today, just a variety of topics that in some ways tie into holiday themes.
Hmm.
But we'll also try to bring in some law of attraction themes more directly. And in fact, one of the things that happens during holidays is that we can get very anxious about, you know, we're having to hang out with family we don't like, or there aren't enough family around that we do
Hmm.
like, or we're disconnected from friends, or why don't I have that special someone, or there's like a whole long laundry list of things that are not going right that we tend to focus on, especially during holidays or Valentine's Day or Thanksgiving,
Hmm.
that sort of thing. So that's one thing to be kind of cognizant of. One thing that I see happen, I think we've all seen it from time to time, is people getting uh, so frustrated where they are in their lives that they feel like they are half given up.
Yep.
They've just kind of given up, and please somebody help rescue me from this situation that I have put myself into.
Hmm. Hmm.
And even though I didn't intend to put myself here, and I certainly wasn't aware that I put myself here, nevertheless I put
Right.
myself here. And actually, that's the more honest person. The one who has more trouble is the one who is saying, "Well, it wasn't me.
Hmm.
This just happened to me,"
Yeah, exactly.
which I can be very sympathetic to. I've been there myself. I think we all have. It's one of the more difficult things, I think, about being a conscious creator is recognizing, accepting responsibility for the fact that I created this entire universe that I'm in. And I created my life. I created my circumstances. I created all of it. Even if I wasn't
Hmm.
doing it deliberately and consciously, I still created it. That's a hard thing to come to terms with. I mean, it's good to come to terms with it, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
So that's about the only topic I have in mind for today. It kind of fits in with the Christmas theme. People
I
struggle
agree.
during this time of year.
Hmm.
Um, so I've been doing all the talking. Anything you want to say to get this started over there? You're giving me a lot
Um,
of ahas and yeah,
well, because I always agree. No,
except when you disagree.
except when I disagree or disagree to agree to disagree.
Now we're really confused. Okay.
But yes, happy holidays to everybody. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and are having a good Hanukkah and
Mm.
all the other holidays that are intertwined in this month. And
Yes, it's a holiday heavy season.
it is. It is quite the holiday heavy season. And it's not over yet because we still have New Year's.
That's right.
Hmm.
But do you ever think about what people are dealing with this time of year? I mean, have you ever had Christmases where you were dealing with stuff that was
Oh,
just
definitely. There's definitely
too
family
much?
members I try to avoid. When they're not coming in town, it is a little easier for of a Christmas for me.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everybody can identify at least on one or two cases.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
there's that one Uncle Ernie who just, oh, geez, not Uncle
Yeah.
Ernie
I'd
again.
rather not. It's like, oh, I get to hang up on Uncle Early this year. Fantastic. I don't have to sit at the table with him. Great.
But of course, sometimes we do have to sit at the table with Uncle Ernie.
Yep.
Sometimes we live with Uncle Ernie. Sometimes we
Yeah.
feel like we can't get away from Uncle Ernie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Uncle Ernie can be a real pain in the you know what.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I think we tend to draw the conclusion, well, I'm trapped. I'm trapped with
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Ernie. You know, will somebody please rescue me from Uncle Ernie? I can't get
Yeah,
away
it's
from
like
Uncle Ernie.
you're what's the word? Not diminishing. Pinholing the whole situation, making it look like there's no way, no possible way out on
Mm-hmm.
your own.
Mm-hmm.
But you need someone's help because you've tried everything, which obviously you haven't because if something would have worked. I've tried everything and nothing's working. I can't get out of the situation on my own, which is could be true. You could need an angel. You could need a handout from somebody. No hurt in asking any time, but all people can the worst thing people can say is no. So
Yeah, that's right.
mm,
So it's a good thing to ask. And
yeah.
I've known people who have asked, and
Mm-hmm.
good for them for asking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is one other aspect to that, though.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling when you're asking?
Yeah,
Because,
that's the thing.
because most often when we're asking, we're in a place of despair or lack, or
Mm-hmm.
we're not in a good place. Emotionally, we're
Mm-hmm.
not in a happy place. So our ask is tied to this vibration of, I can't have this thing that I want.
Oh yeah, I had a situation like that once where a guy wanted to get back together with me, but immediately in his text message said, "Hey, I still love you. Blah blah blah. I want to get back together. I hope this is okay." And then 30 seconds later, before I even got to respond, he said, "You know what? Forget it. You probably hate me. Never mind. I'll just go die." Oh, okay. Thank you for waiting for my response.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, just because you brought your negative vibes to the table, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's a rather extreme example, but that is an example.
Yeah.
It's very clear
Mm-hmm.
that that was a guy who there was nothing that was going to break through that vibration because he was so attached to
Yeah.
that I can't get anywhere. The
Yeah.
world is against me vibration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. And that's the one that's going to defeat you. The funniest thing is, I mean, it is good to reach out for help, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you have to reach inside for help first,
Yes, definitely.
right? You have
Mm-hmm.
to. There are resources inside of ourselves, basically what we call our interconnection or our higher being or whatever you might want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
There's that interconnection that is an infinite source of energy and
Mm-hmm.
power, and also comfort
Yep.
and feel goodness. Is that a word?
Feel
Feel goodness.
goodness.
She's
Hashtag.
hashtagging it. But that's where our best resources come from, and when we focus our attention there, it almost becomes not, I won't say unimportant, but not as important. I can say that it's not as important when it comes to the outreach because the inreach is taking care of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That inreach, that reaching inside of ourselves and making the request and asking for help in getting to that higher
Mm-hmm.
vibrational stance within,
Mm-hmm.
asking ourselves for that help, that act is the act of changing, not only changing our vibration but changing our experience, in that we get all of a sudden stuff starts to happen. And we've
Yeah.
all experienced that, right?
Well,
Even
I
if
don't
only for
even.
short periods of times, we've experienced it for, like, 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say I don't even understand how you go about asking for help, build, fixing your vibration, but like that's your internal journey. So how are you? What are we supposed to do about it? Is my question.
How do you do it? Or I don't quite understand what your question is.
Why are people on Facebook are reaching out asking for help to lift their
Oh,
vibration? I see that all the time on the Facebook groups. And
well,
I'm
yeah.
like, that's not my job. I don't like if you're feeling down and you want to be cheered up, that's another thing. I'm having a bad day, cheer me up and go. That bothers me too when people are on the the TV groups, and they're like, "Oh, I'm having a bad day. Send me pictures of this character or this character." Go on Google and make yourself feel better, and
Mm-hmm.
get their own pictures. It's I don't
There
know.
really isn't much of a difference. I mean, you said on the
Mm,
one hand raising your vibration, on the other hand help me to feel better. There's no difference. That's really the same thing. And they both have the same flaw. You identified the flaw beautifully, which
hmm
is they're expecting somebody else to do it for them.
Right.
There's no one else on earth who can, or anywhere else for that matter, who
hmm
can raise your vibration for you. You're the
Right.
only one who can do it. I
hmm
mean, I can do something. I may, like, if you're feeling down, I may say something to try to cheer you up or whatever,
Yeah.
but ultimately, I do that with the knowledge that I can't cheer you up.
Right.
The only thing I can do is encourage you to cheer yourself up.
Yes. Yes.
That's the only thing I
Exactly.
can really do to help. So, yeah, when somebody's reaching out online like that, they're basically saying, I don't have any power.
hmm
And in saying that, they're guaranteeing it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So there's a perfect instance. If you really want to be cheered up, cheer yourself up. You have to take
hmm
that responsibility. That's what responsibility truly means.
hmm
Having the ability to respond to what you need.
hmm
That's what responsibility is. You are the
Agreed.
one who responds. Yeah. And that's really at the root of the issue with people who are looking for somebody else to bail them out. They
hmm
haven't looked within.
Yeah.
Or if they have, they looked briefly. Yeah, I checked that
Right.
closet. Nothing in there.
Oh my God, my boyfriend does it all the time. I'm like, did you check your pocket? It's in his pocket.
It's in his pocket.
It's in his pocket. It's always in his pocket. I can't find it. Somebody stole it. There's only 3 people in his house.
And the same thing is true for the non-physical stuff. Have you
Yeah.
checked your mental closet? Have you checked your
Yeah.
emotional closet?
Not in there. Did you
Yeah.
double check? My mom always used to say that. Did you double check?
Mm-hmm.
Did you triple check?
Or for some people, and this is where I was getting to, they check by saying, okay, oh, nope, nothing in there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
very cursory look. I didn't
Yeah.
take any time at all to examine what's going on inside. Like, oh, oh,
Yeah.
no, nothing there. Not me.
hmm
Must be you. Please give to me, okay? And
Oh
that doesn't
man.
work. It
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
You
Mm-mm.
got to go within and stay within.
hmm
That's what meditation really is.
Yes.
Took me a
Which I
long time
still
to figure
struggle
out.
with.
Well, yeah, I think I do too. But
Mm.
I just don't try to meditate per se. I just meditate in other ways. I finally
Well,
realized I
yeah.
don't have to sit cross-legged on a floor because first of all, I don't like that, and
Yeah. No.
second of all, I just don't do the routine well that way. But if
Right.
I do it tied in with other things, I can do it great. So I
hmm
just do it the other ways.
Yeah. You got to do it your own way.
Exactly.
Make
Exactly.
it yours.
But the point is, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to actually sit down and do that little internal, take a look, see what's in the mirror thing.
hmm
Because that's the route to finding whatever it is you're trying to find.
Yep. True.
It's kind of like trying to create, we talk about vignettes. Sydney Chavez and I like to talk
hmm
about creating a little vignette, a little 5-second video or 10-second video that illustrates whatever it is you're trying to attract in your life.
hmm hmm
If you create the video and play it once, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
But you're not really getting to know it that way.
No. No.
But if you play the video or reread the vignette or whatever every day,
hmm
now you're demonstrating a certain degree of sincerity. Like, yeah, I really want to be in that place. Yeah, I really want to have that feeling. Yeah, I really want to experience that.
Yep.
And if you're doing it throughout your day, now the universe is saying, okay, okay, I got it, I got
Yeah.
it.
And now you're hitting the universe with a 2x4.
That's right. Well, more
hmm
precisely, you've switched your whole vibe around. Now all of
hmm
a sudden, this is what's so interesting about it. I can't say you'll never want help once you've gotten
hmm
to that place, but you're not going to want it nearly as often.
hmm
You're not going to be looking for it nearly as often.
Right. Right.
Because you go there into that internal place often enough, and all of a sudden you start to feel like you have the power.
hmm
It's not like somebody else has to bail you out anymore.
Right. Right. You'll find a
Like
way.
Louise and I were having a Skype chat with my brother and sister-in-law today.
hmm hmm
Christmas type chat and so forth. And we talked about a lot of things. One of the things we talked about was what Louise and I have come to calling hippoing.
Hippoing?
Hippoing, yes.
Oh boy.
Hippoing is short for hippopotamus.
Right.
You know how if you're, have you ever been in a situation talking to somebody about law of attraction or about something you're trying to attract, and you describe the scene to them of what it is that you're trying to attract, as if you really do believe it, as if it's really,
Hmm.
a certain thing, and they say, well, no, that's not real.
Yeah.
And you say, no, 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 I'm trying to visualize this. Go work with me, right?
Right. Right.
So that's a very awkward conversation. Like, you don't have to have that conversation every time. So Louise and I
Hmm.
came up with a safe word to say, okay, I'm going to do some hippoing now, which means I'm going to start visualizing and imagining as if I actually really had it, so that you
Got
know
it.
what it is that I'm doing. You can play along with me and help me build the vibration of it. So now we're clear. Okay, is this something that is this is what really is, or is this something that we're hippoing?
Okay. So how did we get to the word hippo though? Did we just pick a
Oh,
random
I
word?
didn't see that was yeah, it was pretty random. Actually, it comes from the fact that Louise likes the Christmas holiday song "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas."
Yes. Classic.
It is a classic because only a hippopotamus will do.
Right.
And, and so I yeah,
Oh,
that's where it comes from. It's like, well, it's kind of an appropriate thing. It's
yeah.
the little girl asking for the hippopotamus for Christmas is basically asking for something that her parents say is impossible.
Right.
She's asking for the impossible, but she doesn't believe it's impossible.
Good for her.
But so that's kind of why we like the idea of hippoing.
Hmm.
Hippoing is a safe word that means, yeah, I'm asking for something that other people think is impossible, but I'm
Hmm.
going to come to believe that it's not impossible. It's actually possible. It could
Right.
actually happen. In fact, it is happening.
Hmm.
So that's hippoing.
Good. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we were talking about hippoing. My
Hmm.
brother's sister-in-law and my wife and I, and we were laying out some scenarios of things that we were actually trying to hippo in our lives. And I was realizing, if it weren't for this little process that we have,
Hmm.
um, that would be a hard conversation to even bring up.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because, well, first of all, there are a lot of people, we know this is true, there are a lot of people who have never even heard of law of attraction. And if
Yes.
they have heard of it, probably 8 times out of 10, their reaction is that it's that woo woo stuff,
Yep. Hmm.
the people in the incense gift stores sell books
That
about,
that hippie religion.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of disparaging. Uh, it's not never a disparaging word has been heard. It's like a disparaging word is heard every other day with something
Oh
like
Lord. Oh man, the Christmas episode.
yes, this is, well, that's what we said, right? This is the Christmas episode.
Uh,
But yeah, uh, the the trickiness of having to deal with that is kind of a discouragement, right? It kind
mhm.
of blocks us from wanting to spend a lot of attention and a lot of time on trying to do these really outlandish things like visualize what we want. So that's where
Yeah.
hippoing comes in handy. So anyway, we're talking about hippoing, and we're talking about these particular things we're trying to hippo. And I was thinking, well, if you don't have that good feeling place, it's working against you. You're not really doing it. And
Hmm.
that's when I started thinking about our topic for today, which is these people who basically give up their power. And so I begin to ask myself, I wonder what would happen if they understood hippoing. What
Mm.
would happen if they knew how to hippo, if they knew what the term meant, the way we're using it? And second of all, what if they started to do it? Or, and this is probably more likely, what if there's somebody who was already exposed to law of attraction, conscious creation, and so forth, and they
Hmm.
tried it and they'd had some success, but now they were trying to do something that was really hard, like so hard it was so overwhelming,
Yeah.
and well,
Hmm.
I need help with that. I can't do that one myself. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Everybody can.
It's all about
That's
the
what's
baby
so cool
steps.
about this. Yeah, I mean, literally, it's about letting go of the belief that we can
That you
only use it for
can't.
the small stuff, that you can't.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Abraham says you can attract a castle as easily as a button. Frankly, I think most of us find buttons to be a lot easier. Um, but that's just because of us. That's our resistances in a way,
Yes.
right? Yeah. But we can still attract castles. I
Hmm.
personally don't want a castle. I mean, they're drafty,
I agree. They're
and
drafty.
I really don't like cleaning suits of armor. It's
Well, if you
just
have a
too much
castle,
house
you
cleaning.
should have a slew of maids. Like you just you'd
Yeah,
have to
but
have that.
I mean, how many manor houses in Britain have an entire army of maids anymore?
Who says it has to be in Britain? We have castles out here.
Okay, I just mentioned Britain just because that's what we associate with them, but you're right, they could be anywhere.
And we have plenty of maid services out here also. Just saying,
Oh,
you're closing your mind and not vibrating as high as you should about castles. That's
well,
what I'm thinking.
let me put it this way. I really don't want a castle.
Oh, well, that's why. There you go. If that's what you're trying to get, then fine. You're
I
trying to
don't.
not get a castle, you're doing a great job.
Castles are not for me. I like a nice home, a nice warm home, with
Agreed.
modern conveniences and so forth.
Yep.
I really don't need the suits of armor. It just
Hmm.
doesn't work for me.
Well, I would just toss the suits of armor because they're not my style or my forte.
Mm,
Like I want a
mm.
modern castle, fireplaces, that type of thing.
Fireplaces
So
are okay. I like
yeah, hmm
fireplaces.
yeah.
Yeah. If they're well designed and well tended.
Dragons in the basement, sitting on their mountain of gold. Those type of things are things I require within a castle.
So somehow
But
J.R.R. Tolkien came into the conversation. Okay.
no, I'm just hippoing, just chilling.
Just hippoing.
Yeah.
So you want to have a pile of gold with a dragon on it in the basement.
Well, someone's got to guard the gold. Hello. And if I
So
ever need to melt it down into a necklace,
so is this Puff the Magic Dragon who's very friendly and lets you in to get your own gold, or does he guard the gold from you too, so that you can't even get at the gold?
I believe he would have to sometimes because I'm a shopaholic and I have a problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm an online shopaholic. Yes.
Mm, yeah.
I'm like, oh, I need this. I don't know what for, but it's coming over. Like the other day, I was in the dollar store and I was like, oh, they have sparkly plastic spoons. And I use plastic spoons because I have a thing with my teeth and metal. I can't do it. So, but yeah, they had sparkly plastic spoons. And I was like, sure, they're $5 and the other ones are 99 cents. But you know what? Nobody else has sparkly plastic spoons. So this is happening.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Well, actually, Louise kind of did something similar to that. She got, among other things, she got a gift card for Christmas.
Oh, those are dangerous. Don't send me those.
Well, to give you an idea of how dangerous, this is the day after Christmas, and she spent it already.
Yep. That's what the day after Christmas is for. Gift cards and
Yeah.
returns.
And she's very proud of herself, by the way, because she managed to buy enough stuff to use the entire gift card except for 14 cents.
Nice. High five, Luis. That is a goal. Because if anytime you're using a gift card and don't take any money out of your own wallet, you did an awesome job.
Well, yeah, you're getting the full value of the gift in that way, too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Good stuff. I like
Yeah.
it. So what else can we tell our friends who are struggling a little bit? Because
Well, I think we need to dig
we're
a little
making light of
deeper.
it.
Yeah, I think we need to dig a little deeper into this hippoing situation because I feel like that's a good process for people to have.
Well, yeah. Well, hippoing is fun.
It is fun, and we just
First,
hippoed right there.
it
And
has
now
a
I'm
fun
getting a castle.
name. That's right. That's right. Well, it has. Well, assuming that you stick to it.
Ah,
Yeah, that's part of it.
yeah, that's the thing with me.
I've been telling that to people in the Pivot Pals group. By the way,
Yeah.
anyone who's not yet a member, feel free to just look for us on Facebook and ask to become a member. We'll be glad to let you in. But I'm trying to encourage people. You got to do. People have been posting vignettes, which is great.
Yeah.
They post their little posts about what they're trying to attract, and they give great details. Some of the details that people were writing were fabulous.
Yeah.
But you got to go back and revisit it every day, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just one and done. I mean, not that you can't attract one and done, but you better damn well be able to keep your vibration going without doing the multiples.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of going back to it over and over again is to, I'm off base here. I got to pull myself back, or I'm out of alignment. I got to pull myself back into alignment. That's why you do them every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been doing mine every day now pretty consistently. I missed yesterday because Christmas I wasn't really near a computer, which is kind of, not surprising. I mean, there's got to be one day out of the year when I stay away from a computer.
What? You weren't posting all your Christmas pictures on Facebook? What? You're crazy.
I didn't even look at Facebook on Christmas.
Pics or it didn't happen, man. Pics or it didn't happen.
Okay, if you insist. But for me, it happened and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't take pictures either or post or anything.
Yeah, that's all right.
Christmas Eve I did, but not Christmas. I was too busy.
Actually, I saw one of those. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we're talking about being a hippoer, you need to do every single day. You need to really make it a thing. That it's good. I make it part of my wake up in the morning process. I literally, it's wake up, rub my eyes, get out of bed, go to the bathroom, and then go to the computer and play my 6-minute video.
Okay.
My vignette. That's the beginning of my day every single day. And the days that I don't do that, oh, bad day. Really
Mm-hmm.
bad day. I am so much better off when I do that. Now, does that mean that the things in my video have shown up? Not
Not
yet.
necessarily, but that's not the point.
Well, it ultimately is, but it's not the only
Ultimately, but
point.
yeah.
The short term, the point is to get yourself into that good vibration stance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. Because
Now I
if you get
have
in that good
that good
vibration
vibration song in
stance,
my head.
yeah, well, yeah, the Beach Boys have kind of done that to us. But
No, not the Beach Boys. What was the other one? It's more of a techno one. It was out in the 90s.
called Good Vibrations?
I don't think it was called Good Vibrations, but that was like the whole course.
Oh, I see. Okay. I
Yeah,
don't know that one, but okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, well, it's not surprising. It's a theme that you could see multiple bands doing. But that good vibration place is the place that you really need to be for everything. It's not just for attracting the one thing you're trying to attract in your vignette. It's for
Mm-hmm.
everything. It's for having that life where, what do they call it, the abundant lifestyle.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Where everything is just one good thing after another. It's a great place to be, don't you think?
I agree.
I mean, when you're in that good place, what do you find? Do you find that everything works out great? That most things work out great? That occasionally things work out great?
Everything. Everything
Everything.
works out for me.
It's
Yep.
just like one thing after another, right?
Yep.
And I found that the hardest part is recognizing all the good things that are happening. We have a tendency to just kind of shrug and say, "Oh yeah, well, that's happened." When we should be
Yeah.
saying is, "Yeah, all right."
I'm kind of like the first person. I'm like, yeah, I know. Everything works out for me. That's just how it is.
But that's how we end up losing vibration.
Well, see, but I say it in a positive way. Like people are like, well, why aren't you stressed or why aren't you worried about this and that and that, da da da. And I'm like, everything works out for me. That's just how I live my life.
Well, it's good. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that you shouldn't have that. That's a good attitude to have. I'm
Hmm.
simply saying the celebration factor.
Oh yeah, definitely have to be grateful for the good things that are happening to you. So
Yeah,
otherwise, that's how you lose your good vibration.
that's right. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it's if you ho hum it, well, it's going to go away.
Right,
You're
right.
going to lose track. You're going to fall out of that vibrational stance. You're just going
Hmm.
to not. It's not going to feel as good.
And then you turn into the victim very easily. All
Oh
these bad
God.
things are happening to me, and nothing ever changes. I can't have anything nicer. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. I finally got it.
She's been practicing that one.
No, I just heard my father's voice in my head because that's all he ever said my
That's what
whole
he
life.
said. Oh
That's
wow.
all he ever said.
Hmm. So he was an expert at it.
Oh yeah, sure was.
Yeah. That's the other thing that's helpful. This is not something we normally think about, but we talked about Uncle Ernie, right?
Hmm.
That really annoying relative that nobody really wants to be around.
Yep.
Uncle Ernie is an amazing teacher.
Yes. Let me show you how not to do
Yeah,
by example. Yes.
exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, so when Uncle Ernie doesn't do his vignette every day, that's a good thing to learn from. And
Hmm.
when he keeps repeating, if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all, that's a good thing to learn from.
Hmm.
Yeah, lots of opportunities for you to say, thank you, I definitely don't want that. Thank you, I
Yep.
definitely don't want that.
Yep. My dad is definitely an Uncle Ernie.
And
Definitely.
Uncle Ernie, yeah. So, so that's what I guess what it turns out to is that Christmas is a time that we can learn what we should have been learning throughout the rest of the year.
Or
Just
reflect on all the good and bad things that happened to you this year.
sure.
As you're rounding out the year and getting ready for your New Year's resolution.
I think we pretty much defeated the whole concept of a New Year's resolution.
Well, did you see my eye roll? I went with that.
Yeah, anyone who's watching the video saw that one.
Yeah.
Podcast listeners probably didn't, but that eye roll really summarizes it. People don't act. The thing, what's wrong with a resolution more than anything else?
What?
It's the same thing as what's wrong with doing a vignette once.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I made the resolution, I'm done,
Mm-hmm.
and you're right, you're done.
You are done. Yeah. Like
It's
just
all about
saying
the
what you
show.
plan on doing is not helpful. You got to take action and actually make the steps to
I
make
mean,
that thing happen.
if we were really honest about it, we could answer the question very easily. Do you believe it? And then the answer in most cases would be no.
Right.
That would be the really honest answer.
Yeah.
You know,
My
that,
answers to most people's resolutions are okay.
yeah. Right.
We'll
Show
see.
me, show me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong, I suppose, with doing a resolution, but if you're really serious about it, then do the resolution.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with resolutions, but why does it have to be on New Year's? Why can't we do it at any point in the year?
Well, we can.
Yeah.
That's what we learn and talk about here on LOA today all the time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a particular day for it.
Right.
It's nice to have holidays. I mean,
Yeah.
like I was saying with Louis D'Souza on Monday, the thing I like about Christmas is Christmas for me is a great time to remind myself to appreciate.
Yes. Agreed.
Season is the Christmas season is the season of appreciation,
Mm-hmm.
both, and it's about the gift giving and receiving, but it's also just about the season itself and about recognizing, who and what do I want to appreciate in my life,
Mm-hmm.
which can be sometimes challenging, especially if we have our Uncle Ernie's to see.
If you got too many Uncle Ernie's, it's getting rough out there.
Yeah, yeah, but it's
But that
also a
just
time to
means you need to
appreciate.
pivot
Hmm.
other people into your life.
And pivot even with Uncle Ernie.
True. Yep.
You know, what there are a lot of ways to take that first step. Dan Mangina likes to call it micro shifting, right? Little tiny
Mm-hmm.
micro shifts, and you can do that with Uncle Ernie too. I mean, so you can start with something like, "Boy, am I glad I'm not Uncle Ernie." That's a nice easy one, right? Because you don't have to work hard to get to that one.
See, I'm just straight up. I'm good, Uncle Ernie.
I'm good.
Done.
Yeah,
I'm good.
the
Done.
barrier's in place. Goodbye.
Yep. I roll the window, imaginary window up on so many people.
I
Oh
roll
my
up the
God.
window.
I rolled the window.
Well, so how does that work then if Uncle Ernie tries to have a conversation with you after you've rolled up the window?
Oh, I can't hear anything. The window's closed.
So, in the perspective of somebody else watching, they think that you're being rude to Uncle Ernie. Is that it?
No, everyone saw me roll up the window. It's
That's
a
a pretty
physical.
heavy.
I'm physically going. Okay, the window's going up. It's going up.
You actually say that.
Yep, the window is now closed.
You actually say that to Uncle Ernie.
Now, if he says something complimentary or something contrary to his personality, I can open the window, but I can also close it back.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Does
It's all
Uncle
about the
Ernie ever?
physical actions. It's all about the physical actions.
So you actually do physical actions. You actually
I
show people
physically do.
both.
If I'm in a car, it's an electric window. Or sometimes I go old school and I roll the window up. Oh yeah, it's all about the physical actions because
That's
they have to feel it. They have to feel it. They have to feel that they're being canceled, and then they're well. What did I do?
do, For those who were listening rather than seeing, Alex was just miming herself talking with no sound coming out because the window's in the way.
Exactly. It's a double pane, bulletproof glass window. There's no sound getting in that. Hmm.
Now, do you have Uncle Ernie's who just dismissed the idea that you rolled out the window?
Oh, they can, but now I'm walking away from the door.
So does that involve physically leaving the room that they're in?
Switching seats with someone at the table if I have to, or just, taking my plate into a different room and just being amongst myself.
How
Uncle
does that
Ernie is canceled.
how does that work when Uncle Ernie is trying like mad to break through the window?
They give up eventually.
They do give up.
Yeah, I mean the only reason people tend to bother you is because you allow them to. So
Mm,
it's like they feed off of your energy. If you're giving them nothing, what are they supposed to do? They got to move on to somebody else.
that's a good idea. Yeah,
Hmm.
not an easy one to play the first time, perhaps, but
No, but it works.
it's severe.
It is, but it's also severe in your case. If you feel like you're at that point, you got to do what you got to do for your own peace of mind. That's why people in my family and friends, they will get canceled quick. They know it, so they don't walk that fine line. I cancel my boyfriend at least 20 times in an hour. Like, he just says the dumbest stuff. I'm like, all right, why do you make me do these things? I don't want to cancel you because you're cute, but you make me do these things. And he'll just look at me like, what? Am I canceled? Yeah. I got his nieces doing it too now. It's hilarious.
So you have followers.
Yes. They're like, Uncle Kenny, you're canceled. amazing. I have such a great influence on the children.
So what's some of the vocabulary? You're canceled. What
You're
else is there?
canceled. You're cut off. Ooh, what was the other one I used to use? Besides rolling up the window, I feel there's one more, but I can't remember it.
Well, those two are good. Cancel and
Yeah.
cut off.
Yep.
Plus the physical rolling up the window thing.
Yep.
Well, you
Mm-hmm.
can also do it with the window sash too. Lock it on top.
True, true. But those aren't the double pane bulletproof ones. That's the problem.
Well, they can be if you want them to be.
They can be, Back in the day, I used to build a whole brick wall. And there was a whole
Brick by brick?
Brick by brick, mortar, everything. It was the whole thing.
That'd be a fun mortar or a fun
Yeah.
pantomime
Yeah.
to do. You play the brick.
You gotta do it
on
quick
the
when you're
mortar.
at a red light though.
Okay. All right. Well, you could
But
also
it's
do it at the
even
dinner table, I would think.
Oh yeah, it's way more fun at the dinner table when you're literally just brick and mortaring as the person's talking. You're not explaining anything. You're just putting it down, just and then finally the wall is built and you're just like and they're done. They're done for the rest of dinner. And then you pay your check and walk away.
Well, there are going to be some people who will say, yeah, but at some point they're going to break through. They're going to,
They don't have the right tools.
the right tools.
If they had the right tools, I wouldn't have to build the wall. I'm just saying.
So in other words, you become insistent.
Yep. You got to be consistent in cutting off toxic people.
Hmm.
Because if you keep allowing the back and forth in your life, they're like, oh yeah, she's not talking to me this week, but I'll call her again next week. She'll be fine. She'll get over it.
So that's
Can't do that.
where what you were talking about
Consistency.
earlier is really pretty important, because you talked about how you just literally, as you're building that wall or rolling up that window,
Hmm.
you just don't respond
Yeah. Do not respond.
at all,
Nope.
even if they're asking you what you're doing,
Yep. Don't respond. They don't even exist to you anymore.
even if they're scolding you.
What are they scolding me about?
Well, it doesn't matter what they're scolding you about. They're scolding you.
Doesn't ma-
I'm taking the viewpoint of the person who has a kind of a victimhood mentality.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to help them understand what you're doing. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking you this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So as a victim, I don't know. This is really hard for me to picture because I don't do that. I'm just like, no, I just ignore them completely. Like, I'm done with you. You have no power over me. You're not going to destroy my day. My day's actually going to get better because I'm disassociating with you. So bye. Simple as that. Move about my Christmas.
Or any other day for that matter.
Yeah.
What's the longest that someone has persisted in trying to pretend, or trying to avoid pretending that the wall is there? I guess that's what I'm saying.
Physically or mentally? Because,
Both.
okay, physically, an entire restaurant dinner.
Ah, so they were really persistent.
Oh yeah, mentally, 15 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you keep going for 15 years? I can hear a lot of people ask.
Well, now it's to the point where I've cut them off, so it's like they have to go through other people to try to get to me, and I'm just like, nope. Nice try. Way to use the cute kid, but I'm good.
Way to use the cute kid.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been like, oh, I have cancer. Please call me. Oh, I need to talk to you. I'm so depressed. Oh, this and that. And no. So now they're playing the victim to make me a victim. No, I don't care. Sorry. Not my problem. Bye.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone says, well, Alyx is just, she's just so selfish and insensitive.
Well, you have to be selfish to keep your own peace of mind. Selfish is not a bad word.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that.
I feel like people take selfish and forget that self-care is the most important thing in the world. And you need to be selfish because it's like you can't share yourself with everyone all the time. You'll have nothing left to give. So you have to take care of yourself. So sometimes you got to take time, take a bubble bath and internalize a little bit, do your little meditations, do what you need to do. Take 10 minutes out of your day to make sure you're okay. So you have stuff to give to the rest of the people that you want, keyword want to give it to.
That's a key point, because
Mhm.
if you don't have a way to take care of yourself, you have nothing to give to anybody else.
Exactly. And that's why you start to wear thin and feel like you're being used and feel all these emotions that are things that you are making yourself feel because you're not taking care of yourself.
That's a key phrase right there. You made yourself feel.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy to come to that conclusion. It seems like everybody else is making you feel that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's really you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Think about it.
when
How are you making yourself upset right now?
so when Uncle Ernie is blaming you for something, it's not Uncle Ernie who's making you feel bad.
No, it's you allowing Uncle Ernie to make you feel bad. But if you could care less about what Uncle Ernie says, if Uncle Ernie's not even on your radar, then you're golden. Keep it moving.
I have a feeling we're going to be really corrupting a whole bunch of dinner tables in the near future.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love it.
I kind of like it too. It has like a feel of rebellion to it.
Yeah, shake things up, do things a little differently because obviously what you've been doing isn't working or you wouldn't be here.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to forget that, don't we?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
defend to the hilt this thing that has not been working well, but we don't
right,
easily acknowledge that it hasn't been working well.
right, exactly.
So that's a key aspect. We have to be
Mm-hmm.
willing to acknowledge that approach isn't working. Maybe I've got to
Yeah,
shift it around a little bit.
exactly.
I've actually, as you can imagine, I have tried variations of what you are talking about with considerable success. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the fun things that happens is if you're in a conversation and there is somebody who you have rolled the window up
Mm-hmm.
on, and they're trying to intrude on your conversation with this other person,
Mm-hmm.
and you just continue to ignore them. First of all, the person you're talking to, if they aren't clued in, they're really confused.
Right. They're like, what?
Yeah,
Who am I talking to?
they're trying to figure out which way to go on this, and they're looking at you quizzically and like,
Yeah, because they don't know why you're not responding to them, but responding to them. Yeah, it's
right,
confusing, but
yep.
gotta keep going. Gotta
You
keep going.
just you just you stay the course. You don't
Keep on
change
trucking.
strategy. You just keep right on going.
Yep.
And then the fun part is, most often the people who you've rolled up the window on are people that other people find to be obnoxious or painful or
Mm-hmm.
discouraging, or just not wanting to talk to you anyway. So that other
Exactly.
person you're talking to, they, even if they don't understand what you're doing, they latch onto it pretty quickly because it's a whole lot more fun talking to you than it is to Uncle Ernie.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And now Uncle Ernie is having a fit. He's fit to be tied because you're not listening, and the other person's
Mm-hmm.
not listening, and nobody's giving him his chance to spew his venom all over the place.
Exactly. It's like I'm doing what everybody wishes they could do. So just follow me.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give people the skill to help them
Mm-hmm.
understand this
Yeah.
is something that you can really do, and it really does work. It is very effective.
Well, that's what I was saying. I meant that in a double entendre kind of way when I said Uncle Ernie doesn't have the tools to break down my wall.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he did, he wouldn't be Uncle Ernie.
Exactly.
He'd be Uncle Ernest.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I don't even have to drop the punchline. You just know where I'm
Nope.
going.
Yep. Yep.
Because there is an importance to being earnest. So
Yes. Facts.
it's a funny thing. People will behave differently.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing that I would like to point out. We often, I would say daily, we daily repeat the same behaviors, the same thoughts, the same patterns over and
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. Most of our days are the same as the day before
Yep.
because we just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So we get the same results over and over
Wake
again.
up, wash, repeat. Yep.
Yep. Well, when we do something like the rolling up the window game,
Mm-hmm.
we just changed the pattern.
Yes.
We broke the pattern. And when you break the pattern, all kinds of things happen because of the ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
Things beyond that, beyond anything we can really talk about here. We'd have to just kind of make things up to say what could possibly happen because there's an
Right.
infinite number of possibilities of what happens. But the
Mm-hmm.
one thing we can be assured of, it's going to change the pattern.
Yes, definitely.
When the pattern changes, people feel like they're cast out to sea. People don't understand what's going on. There's a rip
Mm-hmm.
current going by, and they don't know why there's a rip current.
Yep.
And people react in a variety of ways that they normally react to because this is all new. They aren't aware of this. They aren't familiar with this.
Yeah,
My God, why is Alyx behaving this way? She never behaves this way.
exactly. And that turns into him going home, internalizing the situation and going, okay, Alyx is not the one to mess with. And that's how people view me in their life. They know I'm not the one. Don't try and play me.
That's an interesting place to be in because now all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're going to get different responses from people than you used to get.
Uh-huh. And that's the goal. Because you don't like the way Uncle Ernie acts, so change the pace. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've just given people a really good. We've given them two good tools:
Uh-huh.
hippoing and rolling up
Mm-hmm.
the window.
Yep.
In fact, wouldn't it be fun to combine the two?
How do you combine the two?
Well, if you're finding it's a little bit difficult to just go through that rolling up the window thing with Uncle Ernie in the room, you
Mm-hmm.
can do some imagining of rolling up the window with Ernie in
Okay.
the room
All right. I like that.
to kind of build it up within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you imagine over and over again, that's building up a thought pattern. It's building up a kind of an
True.
anchor inside,
And
and
who
it starts.
knows? Maybe next Christmas you will roll up that window.
You might even do it as soon as New Year's Day
True.
or New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Uncle Ernie may not even show up for New Year's Eve just because you rolled up the window on the day after Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't that be a shock?
That would be great.
Don't have to clean up any mess or anything.
Nope. Nope.
All right. Well, this is good. Hopefully, there's some people out there who are. Oh, well, I know there are people out there who
Oh
need
yeah.
to hear this today. So hopefully, this is helpful to them. I think it is helpful.
Mm-hmm. I like to help.
We are nearing the end of the year, and of course, you mentioned resolutions. But the other thing that often is done at the end of the year is to kind of cast a look back and see how did the year go. So I'm going to ask a really simple, basic question: what went well this year? Did you
Well,
have stuff that went
I'm
well?
still here, so everything went well this year.
Oh, that's a good way to look at
Everything went according to plan. That's what I'll say.
it. That's a good response.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the thing I've been responding to when I've gotten that question so far is I've had a really great year because this year, more than any other, I managed to spend more time focusing my attention on what I like and prefer than in any other
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, that's a gigantic success.
I agree. I
It's
agree.
a huge success. So it's a time.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
got to
time.
find a lot of things that I liked this year and like doing that I don't consider work. And I don't consider stressful because I don't subscribe to stress in
Mm-hmm.
general. Y'all know this about me.
You roll
But
up the window.
yeah, I just rolled the window on stress. I don't. I built a brick wall and a permanent brick wall. See, that's the only thing I can agree with Trump on is the wall. Building a wall is good. Where he wants to build it is not good, but building a wall, period, is good.
Well, I've often thought we should build, a four-sided wall around Trump.
Agreed. Agreed. Like I said, building walls are good. Where he
Yeah.
wants to put it, not necessarily my cup of tea, but I agree with him on building walls. Yeah,
And then the other nice thing about walls and windows is they can be taken down,
they can be. Yes, with the proper
which put
tools. Yes,
which puts you back in the driver's seat,
exactly. Exactly.
and that's who should be in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We give our power away so easily. How nice it is when we start taking it back.
Oh, it's so amazing. It puts you like on the top of the world. It
It's
makes you
such,
feel like you can do anything, and you can do anything.
it's completely the reverse of the other feeling.
Yes.
100%.
And then you look back and you're like, why did I let myself feel that way?
Mm.
And I would say it again, why did I let myself feel that way? What was I thinking? I had control over this the whole time. It's like
Mm-hmm.
when you look back on your on this day on Facebook for you Facebookers and you see yourself bitching and complaining 7 years ago and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I put that on Facebook. I really felt that way. Oh, I'm so dramatic. Happen and I go back and delete it because I don't want to see it next year. So I'm like, I'm not in that space anymore. I'm not going to remind myself I was last year, so I just delete it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm. Okay.
never,
I can
never,
see that.
never happened.
I think different people respond to their own histories differently. I always like
Mm-hmm.
Joel's way to respond. He just posted just within the last couple days
Oh,
about
about the
something that
next year?
no, it was about what he was going through in 1989.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
I don't remember which incident it was, but at that particular time, it was one of those really, really bad incidents in his
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
You know, I think it was where he was homeless in Las Vegas. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was the
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah.
And he was describing how it seems when you're in that situation, there is no way out.
Right. But
It
obviously
seems
there is because we're
impossible.
still here.
Well, more than that, he discovered a way out that he couldn't even have begun to imagine at that point in
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that he even began to get to the point where he could find that way out was to just try against the odds, against all hope, to imagine that there's a way out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
To just do that, one small step at a time, shifting away from that victimhood mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because there was nobody coming to rescue him. That's what he said in his little post. He
Yes.
knew there was no one to come to rescue him.
Yes.
There was no
Be your
one.
own hero.
And there was nothing left. There was no one. Even the people who wanted, even the people who knew him didn't want to rescue him. They'd all rolled up the
Right.
window.
Right. Because I'm sure he's knocked on that window way too many times and
Oh yeah,
disappointed them. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There was nobody left,
Right.
and then he described how some other street person mugged him and
Oh wow.
stole something from him. I forget what. And he was feeling vulnerable,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and he was feeling like the total victim.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember exactly what happened in that particular story, but he met somebody, and somebody gave him a thought that shifted it for him.
Okay. Okay.
And so he had nothing else to do. He had given up. There was nothing else left to try. So even though this person sounded like they were speaking craziness, he tried it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and that began his way out.
Okay.
And that's one of those incidents that he now describes as one of the best things in his life that he would never erase.
He has a lot of those, and I like that about him. Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
He's just
He's a
wonderful
great
that way.
example. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's an example of somebody. Not only does he roll up windows,
Mm-hmm.
but he helps other people build windows,
Yes.
which is really cool. What a
I mean,
vocation!
once you know how to roll up a window and build a window, it's your job to help other people.
I guess it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a sense, well, it is if you choose to make it.
If you choose to, of course. Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
like,
keep a secret to yourself. It's fine.
or you can do a podcast.
Or, yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
or
Whatever tunes your own horn.
or you can just roll up windows in front of your family, and after a while they give up on the weird looks, and they start asking you, "Why are you rolling up a window? You
I'll
look like
talk
you're
to the
rolling up a
people.
window."
Yeah, exactly. I wait for that. I wait for the other person across the table to go, "What are you doing?" Oh,
Mm.
I'm rolling up a window on him. He's canceled. It's too toxic. I can't. I'm done. Goodbye. Yeah.
I presume that gets a laugh too.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah.
Yes.
It lightens the mood and the tension, but at the same time, like I still don't have to. Yeah. I can't hear you over here. Yeah. It's great when someone finally asks you, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Building a wall. You got any more mortar?
That's right. Brick by brick, my son.
Oh,
Brick
I
by
have a
brick.
Christmas present for you.
You do?
Yes.
Aw, you should
Last
have.
week we were talking about my skills as a TV guru,
Ah,
and
that's
I was
true.
supposed to pick out a show for you, and I
Uh,
finally came up with one last night
I,
in the
I
middle.
have pen and paper in hand.
Pen in hand. Okay, here we go. Designated survivor.
Designated survivor. Now, of course, there are about 50 to 100 listeners who are saying, "Oh, yes!"
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I feel this is the show for you.
You feel it's the show for me. All right.
Yes.
Any particular reason why?
Based on your TV show history, this is the
Which is a
conclusion I
pretty
came.
slim history, I have
It
to say.
is. It is. I think we've only talked about 3 shows that I've seen that you've seen. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to go with that. And then, what's current. I mean, it is currently getting canceled, but there's, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 seasons that you can enjoy.
Well, if it's being canceled, that's a good sign for me already. It's the ones that keep going on and on that I usually don't do well with. So.
Yeah, yeah.
And for those who are not quite sure what we're talking about, I challenged Alex last week to see if she could come up with a TV show that I would like, because she was
A
claiming she could
dramatic
come up with
TV show.
a dramatic TV show. She claimed she could come up with a dramatic TV show for anyone and get it right 100% of the time. So
Mhm.
this is the gauntlet has been thrown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Okay,
challenge you
Designated
to a
Survivor.
duel.
Now, how many episodes do I have to watch before I make a decision?
Okay, my rule of thumb is you have to watch 3. If it
3.
doesn't
Okay.
catch you by 3, then you can give up.
Okay.
All right.
I will follow through on this, you know.
I'm so excited. I even ran it by my mom. I was like, Mom, what do you, I'm thinking for Walt Designated Survivor. She goes, sounds legit. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you put so much thought in on it.
Oh, yeah. I've been thinking all week. I was like, there's nothing.
And I appreciate your need to think about it that long because I have a hard time coming up with anything I would like. So
Well, I have a success rate at stake, so
yeah, that's
this
true.
is my reputation. If I can get you in there, oh man.
Feather in the cap.
Yeah. Ah, good day, sir.
Okay, well, now I have something to go look up. Designated Survivor. I will give you a report.
Okay, good.
Watch 3 shows.
Yes.
We'll see what happens. Tune in. By the way, in order to tune in, you have to be a subscriber to this podcast. You realize that, right?
Good segue. I like that. Awesome.
Fortunately, I know most of them are, so it's a safe thing to say, right? You know, but this is for those people who are not yet subscribers. We want you to be part of the club. This is a secret club.
The cool club.
It's a cool club. It is. And it's so easy to join. All you have to do is go to the homepage of our website, loatoday.net, and you'll see instructions at the top of the page on how to learn the secret handshake and how to get your membership badge. Oh, actually, it all it really says is click here.
They're like, what? We get all this cool stuff? I never get mail.
But it is cool. Actually, you get the grand prize every time because you get 5 episodes a week of really, really good stuff.
2 of them with me.
2 of them with Alyx. And on top of that, it's good feeling stuff. I mean, unlike the dramas that are out there, this is a drama-free zone. This is more like a laughter zone. So yeah, this is a good feeling place. So become a subscriber and check us out on YouTube as well. How do they find us on YouTube, Alyx? You're the expert on YouTube.
I am good on YouTube. So you go to YouTube, you search LOA Today podcast videos. And once you've done that, look for our smiling faces. And once you see that, hit down below. There is a red subscribe button. And next to the red subscribe button, there is the silver bell. Make sure you click that silver bell and click all so you will always be notified when we're live.
And that's always a nice thing, too, because it actually comes to you by email or whatever else. So
or your apps
on YouTube,
pop up,
it just
whatever.
pops right up. Yep. So,
and you can just press play.
You know. There it is. Of course, the other thing to know is that we always we always record Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. New York time.
Yeah.
So you can just go to YouTube at 4 p.m. New York time and just see us there. Makes it easy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And I also want to remind people, I mentioned it earlier, but feel free to become members of the Pivot Pals group. Especially if you're looking for support on things like creating your vignette or even learning how to build walls and roll up windows.
And while we're at it, you need to become a part of the Grass is Greener group on Facebook.
Oh, yes. Well,
and the Grass is Greener episode discussion group.
There's only 2 episodes, though.
There is. 3rd one's coming. I definitely procrastinated during Christmas week, but I'm giving myself to the 1st to get it done. Because you know how I am with deadlines. I'm way better with deadlines. So
you're saying that I should be setting your deadline for you?
Yes, you should.
That's a window being rolled up.
No, it's me rolling it down, going, hey.
No, but it's me rolling it up.
He said, make your own deadline.
Exactly.
See, I got it. I'm here.
You're Superwoman.
We got to go like this to roll the window up.
You're Wonder Woman. You can make your own deadlines. You're good at that.
I feel like it's not as official if it's my deadline because I can procrastinate and push it back anytime I want. But if it's somebody else's deadline,
you can do it.
We'll see. All right.
Hey, all right, so you just spent an hour explaining just how easy it is for you to thoroughly roll up a window. You're telling me you can't handle setting a deadline for yourself, really?
All right. We'll try it this time. We'll see what happens. If you get it on the 2nd, you can't be mad at me because I warned you.
Will Alyx actually start to believe in her ability to set a deadline?
Well,
Tune in next time.
Because remember, I told you, I said I need a deadline for your TV show, and I got here exactly on Thursday. So
Yeah, but who set the deadline?
you did.
No, I asked you when you're going to have it done. You set the deadline.
You said when's the next show, and I said when's the next show, and you said, well, we
You
won't be
set
here
the
Tuesday.
deadline.
So, oh, I hate you. You slick little devil, you. Made me set my own deadline. I didn't even realize it. This is ridiculous.
Art I clever.
Oh, clever little fox. All right.
So we'll be looking forward to hearing about the third installment of The Grass is Greener. We'll hear about that on Tuesday. But thank you very much for all the insights about rolling up windows and bricking and mortaring people.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of very surprised people in this world. And it's all because of you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you to our podcast listeners as well. We'll see you all next time here on LOA Today. Goodbye, everybody.